Shalom and welcome to the books of prophets. We are in Jeremiah chapter 34. Jeremiah chapter 34, starting at verse 1. The word which came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon and all his army and all his kingdoms of the earth and all the people made his sway, were waging war against Jerusalem and all its towns. Thus said Yahweh, the God of Israel, Go speak to King Zedekiah of Yehudah and say to him, Thus says Yahweh, I'm going to deliver this city into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he will destroy it by fire. And you will not escape from him. You will be captured and handed over to him, and you shall see the king of Babylon face to face and speak to him in person, and you will be brought to Babylon. But hear the words of Yahweh, O King Zedekiah of Yehudah. Thus says Yahweh concerning you, you will not die by the sword. You will die a peaceful death, and as increase was burned for your ancestors, the early king who preceded you, so they will burn incense for you, and they will lament for you. Ah, Lord, for I myself have made the promise, declares Yahweh. The Nabi Jeremiah spoke all these words to King Zedekiah of Yehudah in Jerusalem. When the army of the king of Babylon was waging war against Jerusalem and against the remnant towns of Yehudah, against Lachish and Azekah, for they were only fortified towns of Yehudah that were left. The word which came to Jeremiah from Yahweh after King Zedekiah had made a covenant with all the people in Jerusalem to proclaim a release among them, that everyone should set free his Hebrew slave, both male and female, and that no one should keep his fellow Judean enslaved. For everyone, officials and people who have entered into a covenant agreed to set the male and female slaves free and not keep them enslaved any longer. They complied and let them go. But afterward they turned about and brought back their men and women they had set free and forced them into slavery again. Then it was that the word of Jeremiah came to 12. Then it was that the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah from Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, the God of Israel, who made a covenant with your father, when I brought them out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage, saying, In the 70th year, each of you must let go any fellow Hebrew who may be sold to you. When he has served you 6 years, he must set him free. But your fathers would not obey me or give ear. Lately you turned about and did what is proper in my sight, and each of you proclaimed a release to all countrymen, and you made a covenant according before me in the house which bears my name. But now you have turned back and have profaned my name. Each of you has brought back the men and women whom you had given your freedom and forced them to be your slaves again. Assuredly, thus said Yahweh, you would not obey me and proclaim a release, each to his kinsmen and countrymen. Lo, I proclaim your release, declares Yahweh, to the sword, to pestilence, and to famine, and I will make you a horror to all the kingdom of the earth. I will make the men who violated my covenant, who did not fulfill the terms of the covenant which they made before me, like the calf which they cut into two, so as to pass between the calves. The officer of Yehuda and Jerusalem, the officials and the Conan, and all the people of the land who passed between the halves which pass between the halves of the calf, shall be handed over to their enemies, to those who seek to kill them. Their carcasses shall become food for the birds and the sky and the beasts of the earth. I will hand King Zedekiah of Yehuda and his officers to the enemies who seek to kill them, to the army of the king of Babylon, who has withdrawn from you. I hereby give the command, declares Yahweh, by which you will bring them back against this city. They shall attack it and capture it and burn it down. I will make the towns of Yehuda a desolation without inhabitants. Bless the word of the Lord. Let it come true in Yeshua's name. Amen.